Dennis, you wanted to surprise me? All right. Thank you. I love surprises. Like
I know, that's why I wanted this to be.
Yeah, I like thoughtful surprise. Like me, because I like to surprise, you know?
Yeah.
And I like surprises too. Yes. Yeah.
But I thought this discussion would be great for you.
Oh, thank you, Dennis. Oh.
So, but I was going for last week Thursday.
Yeah.
Right after the birthday.
Yeah.
But you'll see why.
All right.
You know
Okay.
All right.
Well, let us all see why. So becoming a mother is a beautiful journey. Let me tell you, it's really nice. But it can also take a serious toll on the body. I recently saw something, Dennis, that says where flamingos actually lose their pink after giving birth, and it takes a period of time for your pink to come back. So if you've ever heard the saying, you know, ladies, don't worry, your pink will come back. Just to
that's where it comes from.
That's where it comes from.
I thought something else,
you know,
okay.
Pregnancy, giving birth can be so traumatic, it can be so intense, it can be so demanding, overwhelming, that you literally lose your pink, but eventually your pink comes back. So pregnancy can take a really serious toll on your body.
And there's this social media fixation with the snapback.
Yeah, my snapback button pop off.
And coming back quick. And I think that women can often be unnecessarily
pressured,
unkind to themselves and to their bodies, knowing that, you know, sometimes it takes a good 2 years sometimes to come back.
So true.
I mean, there are changes that maybe you didn't even notice.
Absolutely. And sometimes too, as you talked about earlier, comparison, you know, you see other women snap back and you're wondering, why am I not snapping back? What is wrong with me? And coupled with all of that, you're dealing with a changing body, you're dealing with a new baby, you're dealing with a lot of psychological change. It is just so much that's on our plate. Your mommy tummy,
and you're cussing your mommy tummy. Don't just take time with yourself.
Yeah.
And I think we have a great guest for that purpose. He can help us with the various struggles from in postpartum recovery, whether it's diastatic recti or pelvic floor issues.
Yes.
So we're joined by the lovely Kimberly Hoffman-Reed, physical therapist who specializes in women's health. She has dedicated the past 5 years to developing the Mommy Tummy Guide, and so she's going to share expert insights in postpartum healing, and marching to recovery is what she's been on. Kim, how are you?
Hi.
Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
How are you?
First of all, Khadine had no idea about this discussion.
At all. So I'm like, okay.
Khadine had no idea about this discussion. This is a discussion that I said, you know, I need to call Kim for this. Because, I mean, it's been 1 year since she's had AA, and I think that there are changes in the woman's body that she's going through that you don't even realize that, no, you're still in the postpartum phase.
True.
Tell us about some of the common changes in the body, things that women are still going through even a year, maybe even 2 years after.
So, well, thank you guys again for having me. This is a very important conversation. I'm happy that we're having this conversation this morning. You know, I always tell my moms, for the entire 9 months during pregnancy, you're seeing your doctor every month, and as it gets closer, weekly, and then you have your baby, and they say, oh, see you in 6 weeks. And you come back in 6 weeks and I say, oh man, you're clear. And that's it. There's no recovery plan. There is nothing for you going forward. So you have no idea what to expect. And then you have the pressures of social media. So you're seeing persons on social media and instantly body look nice again. And you're like, what? But everything, nothing feels normal to me. Like your body literally feels so different. It feels like a new body.
Yes.
You're like moving and you feel clumsy. You sit and you feel pain. It is a foreign experience, and women going into this with no warning, like zero.
Doc, I'm happy that you said that, because not only is it that, you know, social media, but even people in real life, right? Your other family members, they'll tell you, but so-and-so have pitney and she bones walk. You just have one pitney and what do you? You think you're doing something special? You're going to you're the first to have a baby. And you're like, everybody's experience is different. And we oftentimes, Doc, focus just on the body, but our minds, our brains, literally our souls are also different. So for example, just your cognitive you know, acuity is affected because mommy brain is still on Dennis. You can't remember certain things. The gray matter at the frontal lobe, it's still attack you. You know, the hormones still have not dissipated. So it's a whole lot still. So even outside of the body, just your mind, body, and soul, because you're still adjusting. Because, you know, somebody said to me, you know, I was celebrating my daughter's birthday, and somebody actually messaged me and said, you know what, Kads, happy mommy anniversary to you.
Because I was at pains to say to you. Because, it's your anniversary.
Because I'm like, wow, it's my anniversary to actually, wow. For real.
But
you
Kim,
know?
Kim, let's take on this issue. First one, you know, I'm one of your dad champions about educating women about diastasis recti. Some women feel my belly just big and whatever. They don't realize that actual muscle separation has taken place, and there's and it's not about diet. It's not about going to the gym or
it's
even
about needing surgery.
It's about
sometimes
physiotherapy that you specialize in that pulls it back together. Tell us about that.
Right. So you had asked about some of the changes that occur after pregnancy that you may still be experiencing, and diastasis recti is one. And the reason diastasis recti is even an issue is because during pregnancy, your body it's amazing, and I wish more mothers understood the amazing extent your body went through to bring your baby here. So one thing is your body releases a hormone known as relaxin. And this hormone is responsible for loosening the joints. So, you know, our pelvic joint, it's a very tight joint with very strong ligaments. And if we didn't have this hormone relaxin, then the pelvis wouldn't open up to accommodate your growing baby. So the thing with hormones is that it doesn't work one place, right? So it works everywhere. So you might feel like your wrist feels loose, your ankles feel loose. It's because of this hormone relaxin that doesn't come out of your body immediately. So the relaxin also acts on the linea alba, which is the ligament that joins your six-pack muscles together. So you know the six-pack muscles, right? So there's a ligament that joins these muscles, the left and the right one, together. And relaxin acts on this muscle so that the tummy can expand to accommodate your growing baby. So this is normal, and it happens in 100% of women during pregnancy. That's the only way your baby can grow. For most women, for some women, by the 6-week to the 6-month mark, the tummy will come back. But in this modern day where women gone back to work in 2 months, they didn't get any real break, the body doesn't get that time to actually heal. And for a lot of women, they're still experiencing issues with the relaxin, one, and even after the relaxin has weared away from the body, the brain, as Kitty had mentioned before, that the brain, the cognitive part of the brain, as our body's getting accustomed to pregnancy, our brain also changes, our brain chemistry changes to accommodate the movement in our body. So now the muscles are functioning differently because it was used to having that growing baby.
Yes.
And it gets no time to come back and say, okay, now the baby's no longer here. We need to pull back together. We need to pull these muscles together. So we have to retrain it. So we call that like the neural connection between the brain and the muscles. That has to be reconnected again. So pelvic floor physiotherapy, that's where that comes into play, because it helps you with, one, reconnecting your breath, because a lot of women after pregnancy, the breathing, they're still in that flight or fight response, protecting their baby, and they realize that their breathing is off. So they always feel so anxious, they always feel so nervous. They need to learn deep breathing and connecting with the core again to help the body to calm down, to help the anxiety levels. So we realize we're not even talking about body anymore, we're talking about how the woman feels. And this affects the body, right?
And I like that we're talking about that, Doc, because a lot of people think it's just about the body. And some people say, so why you can't just do this? Excuse me, pardon, progesterone, relaxing, hello somebody. I'm not really in control. But we can also use some level of control if we're under the right guidance of, say, a Dr. Kimberly Hoffman-Reed, because there are things we can do. For example, wearing a girdle, or, you know, a wrap, you know, something for hold you together, right? And as Doc is talking about, just the mental, because I'm saying, And Doc is saying the fight or flight hormone and that kind of anxiety, especially as a new mommy, when you are worried about the baby breathing. I don't know about no other mommy, but me say, Doc, when you have the baby and the baby's in the crib, see ya, test them, if them are breathe 24 hours a day. You know me do, I'll stop my breath because I can't know if me I breathe or she I breathe. So I stop breathing so I can wash her chest, you know? And that constant frustration that mommies tend to be in.
You're one picnic.
You really and truly, Doc, for real. So I'm happy that you're talking about this, Doc, because I want women to know it's not something wrong with you. Because sometimes you wonder, what's wrong with me? Why everybody else do so and so and so, or why is this happening?
Also, some of you are cussing your trainer, and your trainer is just not possessing the skill set to change this issue that you have, the incontinence. It's not, you're not going to gym it. Yeah. You're not going to gym it. Yeah. You need to go to a specialist who knows what you need. So, Doc, where can we find you? Because I didn't even know somebody like you existed. All right. And I'm happy that Dennis has brought you to the fore to all of us, right? Because oftentimes we hear about doctors like yourself, and we think foreign, we think overseas, not knowing that there are qualified persons here who can help us. But she just gone off foreign, so. But she works online. How can people find you, Kim?
Okay, so I'm at the Women's Health Physio on all platforms, so on Instagram, on TikTok, and this is my March to Recovery month, where I am helping moms to not feel so alone in the journey. I've also created a postpartum recovery roadmap to help women to just understand where you should be in the process. Because if you don't have any idea of where you should be, you're thinking that you're far behind. And it's just because you don't know where you should be. So this is a free guide that I've created. You can find it at the Women's Health Physio on Instagram. I'll be posting a lot more about it this month as well. And I do offer virtual services, virtual consultations for postpartum recovery. I did create the Mommy Tummy Guide that I've used to help women all over the world, even while I was in Jamaica, to help them with their postpartum recovery and help them to just know that you're not alone on this journey. And the reason why a lot of persons feel like someone else is ahead is because no one is talking about it. If you talk to another mother, I'm pretty sure she's going to tell you that I have no idea what's happening. I have no idea what's happening with my body. My body feels funny too. But because everybody, you know, women, we're quiet. We believe that there's strength in our silence. And there's no strength in our silence. Absolutely. Actually, none. Because
and there's no need to feel ashamed either, Doc, because a lot of us are also made to feel ashamed. Like, what do you... Woman born to feel pain. I want to go through that, man. I want to my granny have 14 away at CR. I'm like,
hold up your stress.
Hold up your stress. You know, you're gonna hold up your semen. Get away, move. All
right, Kim, thanks as always. Go visit her at the Women's Health Physio. You know, the whole purpose of this conversation is to tell you and all of you know you're not crazy.
Yes.
You're not crazy.
I'm breathing a sigh of relief right now. Like, I'm like, Doc, thank you. You went to school, you graduated. I like you right now. I'm like, thank you, God. I'm not hallucinating, because sometimes, Dennis, you feel like you're just out there in the water by yourself, and you're wondering, why is my body not responding? It's just like we're talking this morning. My husband just stopped eating certain things, and in a 1 week, boom, the weight gone. I'm going to say, you know, some people kidnap him and Dennis and you don't know, suffer. How do that's wicked? But Doc will definitely talk, and I like what Doc is saying, and that is why my Modern Mommy Diaries movement is coming back, because I know women need this kind of information so that we can help ourselves. All right, our guest has been Kimberly Hoffman-Reed, women's health physiotherapist and creator of the Mommy Tummy Guide. It's time for another break. More Sunrise after these messages. Thanks, Doc.